Okay, and we are live. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Great to see everyone after what has been a good day for Manchester United. Up first, let's get talking about the pre-season because we had the first match today. So, very positive 2-0 win over Leeds United. Doesn't matter if it's a friendly in Oslo, whether it's at Elland Road or at Old Trafford, beating Leeds is always a good thing. So let's get into business. Let's get down to what we have to go through on the show tonight. So going through a lot of transfer news, really. We do have a lot of things coming up. So let's get talking here. First and foremost, Andre Onana, long time in the waiting. Manchester United, as we know, we want Onana. He wants to come here. Erik Ten Hag wants him here. Let's just see what happens on this one. So an update coming in today. So Onana will join Manchester United in the next few days for 55 million euros plus bonuses, and that is coming from the Barella in Italy. Look, this is pretty much what we expected to see. This is one of these things. Manchester United have dragged it out. We've managed to take all the excitement out of it to start with, but we are very close to getting there. We are so close. We are on the edge of having Andre Onana as our next goalkeeper. And look, I'm looking forward to it, guys. Honestly, like we seen today, even Tom Heaton was out sweeping on the halfway line in that match. So it's clear and obvious what Erik Ten Hag wants from this team. It's clear and obvious what Erik Ten Hag wants from his goalkeepers. Let's just see Manchester United actually deliver and get him what he needs. Look, we have 1 week today from our next preseason match. We play Lyon next Wednesday. Let's see Andre Onana play at least 45 minutes in that match. So to do that, what we have to do is have this guy bought ideally tonight or tomorrow, medical at the weekends, a couple of days training, and get him into the team, because it's going to be a big change going from David De Gea, who was always in the box, to having Onana playing high lines, playing those forward passes. It's going to be a big adjustment. It's like going from night to day. It's going to be a whole different ball game in Manchester United. We need to get ready for this. We need to prepare ourselves for this as well. So in terms of other stuff coming up, we're going to be talking Joao Felix, because this is one that refuses to go away now. Manchester United, we have wanted Joao Felix ever since that breakout season for Benfica. We wanted him last summer, we wanted him in January, and now we want him in summer again. So let's see what's going to happen on this one. So this is coming in from Spanish sources. So Manchester United, Newcastle and Aston Villa are the three clubs trying to sign Joao Felix. Manchester United have made contact about the possibility of signing Felix on loan. The player is seduced by the idea of staying in the Premier League, and this could be something that's going to happen. I don't know, guys. Look, I have a lot of thoughts on this. I'm not too keen on this move. I've gone over this before. Like, I did a whole video. He could have been a brilliant signing in January, whenever we desperately needed a forward option to come in and help us try to make some goals in this team. But he wasn't that guy at Chelsea. Is he going to be that guy at Manchester United? I don't know. Let me see, the guys are down here. Mr. Phil is saying Manchester United always take a long time in making deals. This deal just take way too long. Absolutely, man. Look, there's no excitement about this anymore. It's like the Mason Mount deal all over again. It was on, it was off. It went on for weeks upon weeks upon weeks. And Manchester United really do know how to make something exciting not exciting, and we are specialists at this, guys. Shade is down there as well. Good evening to you, man. And Greg is saying there's a big noise that Taremi's agent is in Manchester, and Mr. Phil says we should have been working on the Hojlund deal by now. Absolutely, man. We should have been on to the next one. It should be dominoes. It should be Onana should have been bought last week. By all accounts, he should have been bought last week, because we were very close to making that deal happen. And did we do it? No, we didn't get there. Somebody took a weekend off. Everything just seemed to get stuck in the mud. And all of a sudden now, we're still waiting to put our final bid in. So what are we playing out? What are we doing, guys? I want to see us at least get Onana by Friday. I'll give him to Friday, because we were told at the weekend 72 hours, and that was from good sources. That was from Romano. That was from even Simon Stone, who is Mr. Negative on all things Manchester United. He says it could be happening. So where is Onana? Where is he? He's still in Milan. Let me see who we got. Greg is saying big noise. Taremi's agent is in Manchester. Yes, that is something to talk about. Now, this came out pretty much out of the blue. Now, there's been little bits of links towards Mehdi Taremi from FC Porto for Manchester United. Look, I wouldn't be against the signing. I feel like it would be a little bit uninspired if that's going to be our sole striking option. But if we bring in Hojlund and we bring in Taremi, then we've got a young striker and an experienced striker, and that's a lot better mix than just having Hojlund and Anthony Martial. Hot Fuzz is down there as well. Good to see him, man. Thank you very much for that, and thank you as well for doing the watch along earlier on your own channel, man. I did check it out, so if you guys haven't checked it out, give Hot Fuzz a little look as well. Really good guy and makes so much content. So let's get down to business. The poll is down there. Would you guys take Joao Felix on loan this summer? Your options are, as always, yes, no, or you're unsure. A lot of people are going for yes straight off the bat. Now, a lot of confidence in Joao Felix amongst the United philosophy guys. I don't know. I really don't know, man. Hot Fuzz is saying we were told over the weekend by Wednesday, Thursday that ain't happening, is it? Nah, man. It does not look like that's going to happen. It looks like we're going to be going on probably to the weekend. If somebody fancies taking another weekend off, who knows? We might be here in this position next week. And look, guys, I am sick of as well just going to you guys on the streams. Oh, we're getting him. We're gonna have him. Deal close. Deal soon. Deal almost there. Deal at the key point. Luman is saying, Stefan, I'm getting bored with our club. Would it be a sin if I back Arsenal next season as it look more exciting? Yeah, man, that would be a sin. But yes, I completely understand getting bored. Manchester United, we work at a snail's pace on all things, be it a takeover, be it transfers, be it trying to do things on the pitch. United, it's a long way before we're going to be a ruthless, efficient club anymore. And look, most other teams would have these signings done, and that's going to be my big frustrating point, is that a lot of these teams would have already signed these players. This Onana deal should have been done. We had Inter Milan down to around about a €5 million difference, and that was last week. €5 million is £3 million. It should not be an issue for Manchester United. Mr. Phil says Joao Felix is a good loan move since he won't be able to buy two strikers. It's a good point, man. Look, that's one of the things with Joao Felix. I feel like the versatility he brings could be interesting because he can play as a false nine. He could even play up front. He can play off a striker. Maybe you can put him wide as well. He might be a versatile option to come in on loan, but what I'd be concerned about is getting rinsed as well. I mean, Chelsea paid 20 million to have this guy on loan from January, so I would be concerned about something like that. Charlie is down there as well. Good to see you, man. Thank you very much. I hope all is well with yourself and Bodie as well. Let's go Manchester United 2-0 win. Yeah, guys, let's get talking about this because this is something a little bit more exciting. Is Manchester United's first pre-season match, so a lot of talking points. I watched some of the match earlier as well. Didn't manage to get the watch along done because obviously I was in work. So some main talking points. Mason Mount looked very impressive. A lot of good pressing work from him. Made some really nice passes as well. And if he wasn't teeing up, some of our younger players probably would have had assists. I think Kobe Manu was absolutely fantastic in the midfield, as was Hannibal Maysbury. Thought they were very, very good. Dan Gore impressed me in the second half. Noam, I can't even say his surname as well. I think it's Erman. Is it Noam Erman? Maybe. Goal and an assist in that second half. Absolutely brilliant. Looks very, very dangerous on that side. Joe Hugel as well. Goal. Matej Kovar thought he was very composed on the ball and looked like he might be Manchester United's option to be the number 2 goalkeeper. Maybe we do not need Zion Suzuki. We've already got Matej Kovar. So who else have we got down here? Comments are going in. Greg is saying, I would only sign Taremi if they're signing Hojlund, but PSG have inquired about Hojlund. If United take too long, it could be a deal that slips away. Absolutely, man. I completely agree. This might be a deal that slips away from Manchester United. We haven't really started the negotiations. We have personal terms agreed. He wants to come. But that's all well and good. We need to get Atalanta to sell the guy. So that's going to be our big issue here, is getting that fee agreed. And obviously there's a big, massive valuation gap. Atalanta are looking around £86 million, €100 million. Manchester United think £50 million. That is a huge gap to try cover. And I don't know if I back United to actually bring them down. And the way we're going in this market, it looks like we have walked away from deals we find to be too expensive. So maybe this is going to be another one of those deals. Let me see as well. Yusuf, good to see you, man. Yes, good. It was a good game today. Hannibal, Kobe Minu, outstanding. Sale news. Look, man, unfortunately, not too much on the sale news. The only thing we can really point at in terms of the business side of Manchester United is the stock price has been going down. So people are getting less confident in what's going to happen. So that's frustrating in my point. Charlie is saying, I was impressed with Kobe Minu and Ahmad as well. Will really make Anthony sweat. Honestly, look, that's what these guys are here for. And I think if we're not going to sign Amrabat, I think Kobe Minu is going to be a brilliant understudy to Casemiro in that deeper position, and he's a fantastic player all round. Be it his passing, be it his dribbling, the way he carries the ball, his body feints, kid is genuinely fantastic. Kerwin as well, a great loan move if you're playing 200k a week on his wages. Otherwise, stay away from Felix. Thank you very much for that one, man. Look, I agree with that. I feel like wages, I feel like the money it could take to even let Atletico bring him in for a season-long loan, it's going to be extortionate. And I feel like Atletico are really holding this guy to the they're really holding it to the fire in many regards, because what we're going to find is they're outpricing him of a lot of moves. I feel like he's going to be a guy who leaves them for free, and it has been nothing but an unmitigated disaster for Joao Felix going to Atletico Madrid in the first place. Absolutely horrendous career decision. Go for a young guy coming through, makes mistakes, yes, is a very creative player, wants to try things, to go to Atletico Madrid. That was just never going to work out. Never, ever going to work out. So his advisors seriously need to have a long, hard look at him as well. Eunice is saying, I like Felix, but what position would he play in? It's a good point, because I don't think he leads the line. I do not think he can play Joao Felix as a striker. Now, can he play false nine? Probably yes. Is he best in a role where we have a lot of players? Yes, definitely, because we have Bruno, we have Mount, we have Eriksen in there, who would all operate in that sort of number 10, half nine position, I guess, false nine kind of role. So look, it's going to be an interesting move to see where we go with him if we decide to get him. Mejbri was a machine in that game, caused so many mistakes at the back for Leeds. Manu so composed on the ball under pressure as well. Mount set pieces were disappointing. Look, Manchester United set pieces are disappointing in general, so I'm not going to be too judgmental on that one. But I do think you have highlighted two real good players in there. Hannibal Mejbri, Kobe Minu really ran the show in that first half. Mason Mount as well. I thought he had really, really good first half, and that pressing game is going to be something I'm looking forward to. Far too often last season we could see Bruno Fernandes being the only guy doing the pressing. He would try to do it all by himself. So look, it was frustrating, but I think there's a lot more to come from Mason Mount. I really think there is a player in there, and I think Manchester United will get the best out of him for sure. Charlie is saying that young Aaron boy in midfield is a good player. Yeah, Isaac Hansen Aaron, very, very good player as well. Mr. Phil says Ahmad in, Sancho out, Hugo in, Alanga out, Emeran in, Martial out as well. Look, honestly, I think Noam Emeran has really staked a place to be included on the tour squad. So let's see what he can do on that. I would like to see him given some more time. Looks very direct on that right hand side, and that's nothing but a good thing. Options between these young players. Make them, they have an opportunity in these two matches against Leeds today and Lyon next week, where they can really stake a claim to go out on pre-season. And as Erik Ten Hag has said, he wants to have a better link between the youth team and the first team. He wants only the best players. So last season we seen Manu come through a little bit. We've seen a lot of Garnacho. He wants to do something similar this season. So expect to see one or two of those guys given an opportunity, and they have something to play for. And I think that's going to be a big, big difference for those guys. Terry is down there as well. Good to see him, man. Hot Fuzz is saying Felix would provide a threat from a deeper position, closer to a false nine, could link up with Bruno well. As for the shooting, it could be frustrating to watch at times. Yeah, man, look, I feel like we've probably got enough players. Look, what I think in that position, what I think United really need is a focal point. I feel like Hojlund is that guy. Maybe he hasn't quite got the link up yet, but at 20 years old, this kid has so much time ahead of him where he could be something special. I feel like United need that sort of physicality up front, that speed, that strength. I feel like Hojlund will bring that. Even if he isn't quite there, I feel like the raw talent, it's so, so good that he will be there long term. Let me see, Kerwin as well. There is zero continuity with Felix once he goes to his parent clubs. We are not babysitters. Yep, that is a very good point as well. Let me see. The most stupid decision Felix made was when he extended his contract with Atletico last summer. Yeah, honestly, the guy's advisors, he should sack them because they have given him some of the worst career advice I've ever seen in football. Moore is from Africa is saying, I'd rather use Ahmad instead of Felix. Yeah, I thought Ahmad was very dangerous today, and it was very frustrating for him. I mean, he had a brilliant opportunity in that first half, and kind of what happens, I mean, it's like he twisted and he kind of fell a bit. I don't know. Let me see as well. Who we got down here? Terry saying, youth looking good today. Yeah, look, I was happy with the youth performance. A lot of those guys really did themselves proud. Amad Diallo, Hannibal Mejbri, Kobe Minu, Joe Hugel, Noam Amaran as well. Matej Govar in goal was very solid. Dan Gore had a good match as well. So even Alvaro Fernandez, I thought, could have potentially had a goal as well. So a lot of those kids did themselves proud. I feel like they've probably staked a place to be in the next squad for the Leon match next week. And then who knows, maybe if they go on tour, that could be something massive for those kids as well. Let me see. Limon says Rajad had to call lucky now. Rajad as well says Ahmad not good enough yet. Look, I feel like Ahmad has moments. Obviously, this is why I feel like, despite the brilliant season he had last year, I feel like the kid still does need to go out on loan for another season. I feel like top flight football, be it at the Premier League or be it maybe in Serie A for a move for Rasmus Hojlund, maybe that's going to be the next sort of evolution of his game. Now, last season, breakthrough season at Sunderland, but it was the Championship. We want to see him do that in a top flight league. So I feel like a Serie A move, I feel like a Premier League loan move could be really good for the guy. Let me see who we got down here. Greg, I was really impressed with the youngsters in the second half. They moved the ball around well and they were playing out of themselves comfortably. Yep, absolutely. Sinkin is down there. Good to see a man. And Hot Fuzz is saying under 21s provided clinical edge with limited chances compared to the first half's cutting edge chance creation. Good showing from Reece Bennett and Will Fish as well. They pressed a few times. Yeah, and we really played out of the back very nicely. So I feel like it's going to be a big improvement when Onana comes in, Luke Shaw comes in. We get Leeds some more match minutes because I feel like he was a little bit rusty at times. Let me see. Limon says, why are we not producing the Fodens anymore? These youngsters you mentioned are just are nowhere will be nowhere seen at the start of the season. Look, I feel like there is some of them, yeah. Look, obviously Phil Foden is like a once in a generation player, you know. He is so good at a young age. Not every player is going to be as good as Phil Foden, but I feel like United have a lot of good young players in there, regardless of what if they're going to play a lot of matches this season. Look, I feel like Kobe Minu is going to be one who will be special. I genuinely see incredible talent there. Now, I think Mejbri had a good game. I don't think he's at that kind of level. So if you're looking for my picks for the best young players at this club, I'm probably going to go for Alejandro Garnacho, of course, but I'm going to put Kobe Minu in there. I'm probably going to put Isaac Cantanaran in there as well, because I genuinely feel like those guys have that level of potential. Now, whether they reach it, it's another thing altogether. Obviously, playing on a good team will help that, so let's hope. Z is saying, hi, good to see you, man. And Rajat says, will Harry Kane be leaving this year? Look, I don't know, man. The thing is with Harry Kane, it's like I would leave Tottenham Hotspur if I was Harry Kane. I feel like the biggest thing is Levy trying to keep him at the club. I feel like that's really disrupting what he's trying to do overall in his career, because Harry Kane could break that goal scoring record playing for Luton Town. He does not need to be at Spurs to beat that record. Now, if he goes to Bayern Munich, maybe he won't break it. But if he comes to Manchester United, if he pushes for a move, that's going to be better for him long term. So that's what he has to do, in my opinion. Terry says Kovar is looking a good goalkeeper, nice touching the ball, and didn't panic under pressure. No, I was impressed with Matej Kovar. Obviously, this is a guy who went out and got a lot of experience last year playing for Sparta Prague. He won the Czech League. So, in terms of a loan spell, I don't think it can go much better than that. So, I feel like I do feel like Matej Kovar might be a guy who comes in as a backup goalkeeper, perhaps. Kervin is saying, Williams Ahmad has something to offer on the right hand side. However, I'm expecting a breakout year for Anthony in goals and assist department. So, would it be wise to keep Ahmad if he only starts a handful of games next season? No, I don't think it would be, because and this is something I've said for a while now. A lot of guys get very excited about Amad Diallo, myself included. I think there's a lot of talent there, but the biggest thing for him, he is at a crucial age of his overall development. He is 21 years old. he needs to be playing football. He needs to be playing top flight football every single week. Now, whether that's going to be at United or whether that's going to be on loan somewhere else, that's going to be the big thing. So that's what I think we're going to have to do. I think a loan, ideally to the top flight team in the Premier League, would be brilliant. Now, if we can use him to bring down the price of Rasmus Hojlund and get him into Manchester United, well, then I think that makes a lot of sense as well. And that would mean he'd be playing top flight football in Serie A, probably playing Champions League as well. So that could be brilliant for him. There's no point keeping this kid if we're not going to play him. So the best thing for him is to get out on loan or to play every single week. And I feel like Anthony will improve this season. So I feel like the best thing for Ahmad is another loan. Let's see, these comments are shooting in. Let me see who we got down here. Rashad says, we got no more Greenwoods and Rashfords out of the academy. Look, it's very premature to say that as well. I feel like Alejandro Garnacho will get there. I feel like Garnacho will be something special. We've seen it last season. This guy genuinely is so good for his age at only 19, and there's a lot of improvement. Eunice is saying Kobe's intelligence fascinates me. It's like everything is easy when he has the ball. Yeah, that's a brilliant point, man. Everything looks easy when Kobe Mainoo has the ball. Absolutely. And if we're looking for comparisons, I'm sure all you guys remember Moussa Dembele used to play for Tottenham Hotspur. I see a lot of similarities in their game, a lot of them. People try to compare Kobe Mainoo to Paul Pogba, but I feel like Mainoo's got more defensive ability. Obviously not as good technically, but I feel like he is very similar in his style to Moussa Dembele, and that could have been a player who would have changed Manchester United back in the day. Sinkin says, bro, we should have called back Kovar on loan last year. He looked so good on the ball. We could have. Who have we got down here? Dudley is saying, when will the soon come for Onana? So, in terms of soon coming for Onana, so this is coming in from Italian sources. Don't know. Why is my mouse not working? Hold up. Sorry for that, guys. Yeah, so in terms of the soon for Onana, so I do want to give you guys that there because I realize I haven't got it into the chat yet. So first updates coming in from Alfredo Padula from Italy. He is saying the acceleration for Onana in Manchester United will come in the next few hours. So that was said around about this afternoon. So that's going to be coming very soon, hopefully. This has to be done very quickly, in my opinion. And we have another one as well coming in. Let me see. This is coming from Libero saying Andre Onana will be officially a Manchester United player in the next few days. So there's the update on that. That's where we're getting the soon from. So we're feeling confident on that one. Big T, I'm still in Oslo outside the stadium waiting for the Leeds team to turn up. No sign of them. Let's see. Martin is saying, do you have an idea when the sale will happen in your opinion? Okay, I can talk opinions because I'm not ITK. I don't have inside knowledge or anything, but an opinion I can definitely give you guys. So, in terms of my overall opinion, my big hope would be by the end of summer. By around, I don't know, end of August, September, I feel like we might have new ownership by then. Obviously, a lot has to happen between then. First and foremost, we need to have a bid accepted. That's the biggest thing. I feel like once that happens, things will start to move quickly. Both sides, Radcliffe and Qatar, they've all the groundwork done, all the foundations are done. You know, they have the facilities to transfer the money to the Glazers. They have the facilities already registered to run a business in England, in the United Kingdom. So a lot of that's already done. So once a bid is eventually accepted, I feel like then we're going to speed things up. And then hopefully it will be a couple of weeks until we get the fit and proper ownership test done by the Premier League, by the FA, all that good stuff, all the buying up of the shares, that will have to happen as well. So I would expect by the end of summer we should be very close, if not there. It's frustrating, it's not ideal, but I'm trying to be realistic as well. I hope you guys can appreciate that. Kervin says, excellent comparison with Dembele. Thank you very much for that one. Terry is saying, Mount looks good. Might look good as well. Good to see him with first midfielders. Yeah, it will be good. And I'm looking forward to seeing Mason Mount in there alongside Bruno Fernandes, alongside Casemiro, with the front line in front of him, because that will be a much better proposition as well for him. Ashida saying Radcliffe will buy Barcelona. I don't think he really can. I don't think that's possible. I feel like because Barcelona are like partly fan owned, I don't think anyone can really buy them over. Martin is saying, thanks for an answer, no problem. Absolutely. Terry says the Rat wants to buy Barcelona, and Satwan says Jim Rat out. So as you can see, the Radcliffe, not a lot of Radcliffe fans in the chat as well. Okay, guys, so let me know your thoughts on the poll. So I've asked you guys, based on the current transfer rumours on Joao Felix, will you take him on loan this summer? So I've asked you guys yes, no, or unsure. And at the moment, 75% of you guys, nearly everybody has voted on this poll, is going for yes for taking Joao Felix. Now, is this based out of desperation? Is this based out of we think he'll genuinely improve Manchester United? I don't know. Look, I would put myself in the unsure category. I don't really know if he's what Manchester United need. Look, we need a goalkeeper. We need a striker. We need forward options. Yes, we need goals, most importantly. But is Joao Felix that guy? I don't know if he comes in and really fits in with what we want overall, because we already have Bruno and Mount and Eriksen. Even Donny van de Beek is still at the club. So that's a lot of players in that kind of number 10 position. Whether Felix comes in and tries to lead the line, I don't think that could work either. So I would feel a little bit hesitant on it. I'm not sure if it's something that I think would work to the fullest extent. Now, obviously, you know, we have a lot of rumours and stuff. We have a lot of long-standing interest in Joao Felix. This comes back from when Erik Ten Hag came in last season. He wanted him in summer, he wanted him in January, and now he seems to want him in this summer. And it's the same going back many seasons. United, we wanted him from Benfica all those years ago. So, I don't know. I feel like the interest probably is still there. It is Manchester United. You know, I'm still waiting for the Milinkovic-Savic links, because they're going to come at some point. Let me see. Sinkin is saying over 10 million plus player wages for a loan. We are broke people. We don't need him. No, I would agree with that. Terry says yes, he's an upgrade on last season. And Eunice is saying Sir Jim is in the pub. Love to see it, man. Absolutely love to see it. Well, guys, any more thoughts, make sure to get them in down below. Let me check out as well, because there was other stuff on the notes that I drew up for tonight's stream. So, yeah, okay, so we got a player leaving Manchester United potentially. We're talking Dean Henderson. So this is coming in from the Telegraph, and they're saying that Dean Henderson is closing in on a permanent move to Nottingham Forest. Nothing but a good thing, in my opinion, because we need money. We need to sell players, and Dean Henderson at least is going to fetch a bit of money for Manchester United. And look, this next piece of news, this next update that we have, it's embarrassing for Manchester United, but we're going to have to go through it, guys, because it is something we need to talk about. So, Manchester United, all summer long, we have heard over and over again, it's been driven down our throats by every single piece of information out there. Every single report has this caveat all the time. I'm sure you guys have seen it. Manchester United, they need to sell. We need to sell. We don't have money to spend. We have to sell. We are broke. We are poor. Here's money coming in, and this is genuinely embarrassing for this football club, because Manchester United have made a 25% sell-on clause on Tahith Chong. So we're going to pick up £1 million for him going to Luton. Tahith Chong is not even a Manchester United player, and this is the most we have managed to get for any player this transfer window. So the most amount of money Manchester United have so far received, almost a month into the transfer window, is from a player who doesn't even play for us, and it's because we put a sell-on clause in there. Like, guys, this is just ridiculous. We're seeing talk as well looking to sell Maguire for 50 million. I don't know what this club are doing. If we need to sell, we need to invest. Why aren't we selling players? Why are we being so, like one of the main reasons we don't want to sell Harry Maguire is because we're going to have to replace him. Like, that makes no sense at all. Obviously, you have to sell the guy to replace the guy, but it just comes down again to a lack of ambition, in my opinion. United are looking, going, we don't want to sell Maguire, because then we have to go and deal with someone to try buy another centre back, or it's genuinely frustrating, guys. Terry is saying, yes, be a good bit of money for new players on the Dean Henderson one. Look, I feel like that's true. I feel like Henderson will go, but I want to see more go. And I just have this really bad gut feeling that Manchester United are going to hold on to far too many of these players who are not going to be good enough. And that's my big worry. I feel like because of a lack of funding, because of a lack of actual plan and ambition to really overhaul this squad, we're going to be stuck with a lot of these players who we already know from last season and from previous seasons are not going to be good enough. So I would fully expect to see the likes of Anthony Martial sell at this club. Maybe Donny van de Beek. McTominay will be there next season. Like, it's going to be the same players over and over again. Let me see. Ashid is saying Varane had the McQueen shirt on today. Yes, I saw that. Terry says we need to be more like Chelsea selling as well. And Sinkin says we was linked to Taremi from Porto today. His agent posted the United badge on a wall saying he was at Carrington. Any truth on that? Yeah, do you know what, man? We actually do have something on that. So obviously a lot of guys on Twitter, everybody would have seen this. So this came out around about middle of the day. So everybody got kind of excited. Some people want Taremi, some people don't want Taremi, but we do actually have some clarification on this. So this is coming in from Manchester Evening News. So the agent of Mehdi Taremi was not at Old Trafford today, despite posting a photo of the Manchester United badge and tagging that and saying he was at the ground at on Instagram. So I don't really know why he did that. Like, I don't really know the point of it, but it doesn't seem to be legit. It might have been that he was at a Manchester United badge and tagged the club, but it doesn't look like Mehdi Taremi's agent was at doesn't look like he was at Old Trafford today. Let's see, Rashad is saying who broke Joao Felix to Manchester United. Look, this has been an ongoing thing coming in from Spanish sources as well. At the moment, today's story came from ABC. Let me see who was down there as well. Al Cardi says, I thought you were going to do a watch along. Yeah, man, I was planning on it, but I was in work, so obviously I was in work to 5:30, so everything kind of relied on me getting out of work, but I didn't manage to get it, unfortunately. So there probably won't be one next week because I think the match starts at 2 o'clock UK time, so I'll probably miss that one as well. But then I think the Arsenal one next Saturday, I feel like that's going to be doable. I feel like the Real Madrid one will be doable. So there will be some of them coming up as well. So as well, we did get down there, guys. So Everton are set to make a move for Anthony Elanga. This is coming in from a couple of different sources. Most notably, it's coming in from the Echo in Liverpool. So I feel like we can sell Anthony Elanga. I would like to see him sold. Honestly, I feel like he's not a bad player, but he's not United quality. And you could say that for a lot of these players. I feel like we'll do well to sell him. Let me see who we got down here. Terry saying he's a good player, stats for 30 years old. Yes, Sinkin says 29 goals last season as well. Aquila is saying as long as we have the Glazers with their unfootball-like way of thinking, we will keep having issues with player sales. Absolutely. I agree with you as well, man. And Robert is saying I can see Man United signing 3 players for this season. June 1 player, July 1 player, and August 1 player. Oh man, please don't do it to me, because I think you're going to be right. I genuinely feel like the way this club are going, the way this transfer window is going, it's going to take that long. So I'm agreeing with you, man. I feel like we'll probably get Onana this week in the next couple of days. Then we're going to try work on Hojlund, and the way Manchester United work, it's going to take till August to get that deal done, because we are slower than a snail in the transfer market. It's frustrating, guys, but it is what it is. Unfortunately, Eunice says, I like Sancho, but his future at the club will be difficult. Yeah, I could agree with that. Sinkin says, could be the signing we need for now. He might well be. And Rajat says, United could not sign Marcus Thuram. I feel like we should have. He's went to Inter Milan, of course, but I feel like there was an opportunity there to bring in a guy 25 years old, coming off the back of a pretty good season for Borussia Mönchengladbach. He has been a French international who was in the World Cup squad and got him for free. I feel like that would have been a no-brainer signing. I'm surprised that we didn't go with that. Yeah, as Rajat says, it's incompetence from this club once again. Let me see as well. Robert is saying, how can Man United waste 1 month to complete Onana deal? This club is not serious. Absolutely not, man. And it's because we have a lot of people at this club who are not good enough to do their job. And still, to this day, everything has to be signed off by Joel Glazer. He insists on signing off on any deal. So these long delays, we could be waiting on Joel Glazer to sign it off. I don't know. It's unfortunate because it's really affecting Manchester United. It's affecting the preseason, and at this rate of going, it's going to impress and it's going to affect the entirety of next season. So this is going to be an ongoing thing, guys. Make no mistake about it. And these comments are flying in as well. Lackey is down there. Felix near. I don't think we're near to him. There's probably an interest. we are interested FC, and yeah, United Loan Kings. And Aquila says, we will sign. Remember how we signed Casemiro? Linked to others, boom, we signed Casemiro late, so we can sign more. Maybe just with United delay in confidence. Look, that might be a good point. I really hope we don't have another window like last year where we buy Anthony and Casemiro really late in the window. I want these guys done within the next couple of weeks. I want to see pre-season done with these guys all at the club. That's what we want to see. That's what we need to see from Manchester United, is genuinely being smart on this. So we have a quote coming in from Simone Inzaghi. This is, of course, the Inter Milan manager. So he is saying, Onana to Manchester United. He is an Inter Milan player today, and he is called up for our pre-season camp tomorrow. The market is unpredictable. We know Italian clubs need to sell before signing new players. That is the reality. So we're getting hints from the Inter Milan manager. I feel like I feel like Onana's gonna be done really soon. That's why I've said that he will be done soon. So I'm feeling good on that one. But we should have had this done weeks ago. We should have had this done a long time ago. But as always, it's Manchester United. We take things the long way around. We take the scenic route through transfers. Let me see. Rajat saying United should have got Thuram. Tinker saying, listen up, guys. Stop stressing about Onana. He will come, and we need to know what is coming after Onana. That's a good point. That is a good point, because what comes after Onana is going to be every bit as important, because if we don't have the money now to buy a striker, we're still going to struggle next season. We have to go out and bring in that centre forward, whether it's Hojlund, whether it's going to be Taremi or somebody else. That's what we need to do. We need to bring these guys in and get the goals into the team, because right now we have a team that can make chances. We need a finisher. If we put a finisher in that team, even if it isn't someone who would be world class right here, right now, like a Harry Kane, they're going to score goals. And whilst Hojlund is not at Kane's level, if he comes into Manchester United, I would back him for 20 goals next season. That's how confident I am in the chances Manchester United will create, because we have an elite level midfield, really good attacking players as well. We just miss that number 9. I feel like that's the biggest hole in this team. Let's see. Lackey is saying, as well, Osman Lackey is saying, I'm at Hannibal, Isaac, Hantanara need to play. Yeah, I really like those players. I thought a lot of them did well today. Hantanara got a really nice assist for the opening goal for Manchester United. I feel like Ahmad was very dangerous throughout that first half. Obviously, Hannibal Mejbri up and down that pitch. I would definitely throw Kobe Mino in there as well. Thought he was brilliant in today's match. Really, really impressed with that guy. Always have been every time he's played. Rashad says, how did Isaac Hansen Aronson play? Didn't get to watch it earlier. No, MUTV. Look, he played well from what I've seen, and I've seen bits of it. He looked to be very dangerous in that second half. Got some really nice through balls done. Look, there's things in his game that need work. He did lose the ball quite cheaply once or twice, but he's a young player playing against some senior players in Leeds United. He was always going to do something like that. Look, I really like the player. I think he's really, really technically brilliant, and I would be excited to see where he would go. He might be a player to go out on loan and really star somewhere next season. That could be the real option. And I hope Erik Ten Hag is thinking that. I hope Ten Hag is thinking, watching these young players going, these guys can get loan spells to good teams where they're going to play football and they're going to improve as players. It happened with Ahmad last season. Let's see it with some more guys as well next season. Who we got? Ashida saying they'll find another 250 million under the sofa somewhere under Old Trafford at the end of August. Honestly, man, the good old Manchester United credit card, it might be coming out. Do not stress. It might be coming out as well. Lucky is saying, good to see a man as well. Radcliffe, please buy Barcelona. They need investment, quick deal. And Sinkin says, listen, I like this United negotiation tactic. We need to stop bleeding money. We did for the last decade. We need this because of FFP will drag on to next summer and we will spend stupid. And as well, Aquila says, I can really see what Ten Hag is trying to do, starting from the back. The senior team has to follow his style and it will be a success. Thank you very much. And that's why I think Onana is going to be the next big signing, the most important signing of this window. Look, we need a striker, yes. We need goals, yes. We need midfielders, yes. But playing out from the back, it's going to be a game changer for this team. It is fundamentally going to change how Manchester United play under Erik Ten Hag permanently. This will be a permanent thing moving to that system. And then we're going to see what Erik Ten Hag is all about, because it was good last season. It was brilliant at times. And we did very well at certain points of the season to pick up wins, finish third in the league, win a trophy. But we were not playing the Erik Ten Hag way, make no mistake about that. And that's something we can say across the board. in the first few matches, we tried it. We tried it against Brighton. We tried it against Brentford. It didn't work. That was because we didn't have the personnel. Now we have a lot more of the players who can do the job. Let's see what it's going to look like on the pitch for me. And as for sinking as well, look, I do like us trying not to get bent over in the market. I really like us trying to be strong at times, and it worked with Mount. It's hopefully going to work with Onana. But I just feel like if we were 2 weeks, if we were doing this 2 weeks ago, we would be very happy with that, because then that could be a lot better. Because Manchester United, we kind of started our transfer window 2 weeks ago, but it was already open for almost a week and a half at that point. So if we were coming into the start of July, Mount was signed, we were about to sign Onana, we were well in for Hojlund, I would feel very confident. I feel like that could be a brilliant window, a great start to the window. But we're kind of 2 weeks ahead of where we would need to be pulling this off. We should be working on Hojlund at the moment, but we're not, because we still haven't got the Onana deal done. So I feel like, yes, we need to work down these fees, work down the wages and stuff, but also we need to be efficient enough as well. So we need to be doing this quicker, snappier, more ruthless in the market for me. Rajat is saying as well, would keep Ahmad for now and loan Pellistri to a good Premier League team. I think I might loan both of them, honestly, because Pellistri needs is what Ahmad had last season. He needs somewhere where he's going to go, he's going to start every single match, and he's going to make a massive, massive difference to that team. Ahmad needs a high quality loan at a top level, be it Premier League, be it a Serie A move, something like that will really make him grow as a player. Who else have we got down here? Rajat says he's going to set foundation straight mid. Yeah, absolutely. Lucky is saying Onana and Sofyan Amrabat need to come in. Would love to see it. Terry says, supported Manchester United all my life and never do the things easy way. As of your seat, watching or dragging a signing or selling the club. 2 pills, go relax again. Yeah, honestly, man, there is no difference. There is no in between with Manchester United. It's either on the edge of your seat, exciting stuff, or it's taking weeks upon weeks to a great day. Like, honestly, like we've all been in this game long enough. We all know the score. We know the story. It's frustrating, but it is what it is at the same time, guys. Not too much we can really do to change it. And Lucky says McTominay, I wish McTominay was pushing to leave. Look, he might go. I feel like McTominay probably needs a talk with Erik Ten Hag. At the moment, not back from pre-season. He was playing golf at the Scottish Open today, so that's a guy who isn't back in training just yet. But yes, Lucky does we do things the stupid way. There is an element in that as well, make no mistake about it. And I think a lot of it comes down to how we're run as a football club fundamentally. So guys in charge on a day-to-day basis, board, CEOs, guys like that are every bit as much to blame as the Glazer family. And for as bad as the Glazers are, they don't really take an active role in running this club. Yes, it's the people they appoint, but that's the thing. They're not in Old Trafford very, very rarely, So I feel like what we will see is a new ownership coming in, kicking out the board, bringing in a whole new board of directors as well, sweep the decks. That's going to be the most important thing for me. Let me see. There was something else I wanted to go through on the notes here. Where is it? And Kerwin is saying as well, it's a matter of finding a balance between budget and player profits. Every time our budget sends us to a new target with the whole squad having to change. E.g. it's Fred and now it's out. Yeah, I agree with that. And Sinkin says, would you guys take Taremi or Hojlund? It's a good question. Hojlund obviously going to be the better player. I feel like Taremi is still a good player now. He would add a lot to this team, and if you're bringing both in, I really think that's going to help Manchester United, because that's going to take so much pressure off the shoulders of Rasmus Hojlund, because all of a sudden he's not going to be the only striker signing. We will be spending big money on this guy, but if we can take him out of the limelight and have Taremi scoring goals if Hojlund has a drop in form or if he's injured, that's going to be a big benefit to him. That really will help Rasmus Hojlund as a player, but that's why I want both. So I'm agreeing with Rajat here as well. Rajat is also saying we need a new scout network every day. Everybody needs to go when Qatar come. Look, I wouldn't complain too much with that one at all, guys. So let's get talking here. So we have an update on Donny van de Beek. So this is coming in from Scott Saunders and Grim Billy. So Inter Milan, Roma, Wolves, Forest, Palace, Sevilla, Nice, Celtic, Ajax and Feyenoord all hold an interest in Donny van de Beek for some reason, guys. Surprising, but they hold an interest in him. So maybe he's somebody he ends up going. There's a lot of interest. Let's hope we can sell him on for some profit. And I feel like some of those moves would be good. I feel like maybe we can offer Van de Beek to Inter Milan on a smaller fee if they give us Onana. Let's see. Game as well is down there. Good to see him, man. Let's go for Hojlund, Felix, Onana, Amrabat, Diazi, and a backup goalkeeper. The signings will be decent for us. Thank you very much. That would really help us, I think. Those players will be brilliant. Look, obviously with Hojlund, that gives us goals, gives us long-term goals. Onana, that's going to change how this team plays. Backup goalkeeper, maybe looking Suzuki. Amrabat would be a player I'm very excited about from that list because he comes in, works very hard in midfield, but he's a brilliant link player. He can really link up the back line to the forwards really nicely. A lot of passes, very, very underrated player outside of just that work rate. Mustafa as well, good to see him, man. Depends on the loan fee for Felix, to be honest. Yeah, look, I would agree with that, man. If we're going to be spending like 20 million on a loan fee, no chance. If it's going to be like we pay 100% of the wages and give them like 5 million, maybe that's something to talk about. But I feel like there's players we should be getting ahead of Joao Felix as well. Sinking is saying, got a feeling Ten Hag will go for Taremi instead of Hojlund and bring in Amrabat with the rest of the budget. Maybe that's how we go for this season. Look, if that happens, Manchester United have to sign Harry Kane next season. There's no excuses for it, or we have to bring somebody of that quality in. Taremi will not be the long-term option at this football club. He could be a brilliant squad player, a brilliant backup striker, a brilliant short-term player, but as an overall, I think we need to be doing better than that as well. Mustafa is saying Amrabat is crazy. Yeah, look, I really like the player, honestly. I liked him in the World Cup, and I feel like there was a lot of World Cup hype about the guy. There was the big links in January. Will he go to Barcelona, United? What's going to happen? Ultimately, he said a Fiorentina. We got Marcel Sabitzer. But I think we made the wrong choice because Amrabat is one hell of a player and he would have made such a difference to Manchester United. Much, much better than Sabitzer, in my opinion. And he would probably come in and offer us something so different. You know, he drops in between the centre backs. He picks the ball up. He gets those passes going. He works hard. He's combative. If United went into those big matches next season with a midfield three of Mason Mount, Amrabat, Casemiro, with Bruno on the right wing, Rashford maybe through the middle and somebody on the left, that's going to be a massive, massive upgrade for Manchester United. It makes us so much harder to beat, especially away from home. And that might be one of the keys that Erik Ten Hag is looking for. The home form last season, it was brilliant. Make no mistake about it. But because that away form, the away form really cost us in the end. So if we can improve that, maybe that's going to be good. Rajat says, and wages, Felix, 6 million loan fee and half of wages, okay. That's maybe not too bad. Sinkin is saying we could get Taremi and Amrabat for the price of Hojlund. Yeah, that's a good point. Obviously, what I would love to do is sign all three. Whether United do it, I don't know. Lucky is saying, tell us Eric Bailly McTominay will keep you on the bench or we're selling you. Look, I feel like we need to sell those players who need to be brave in the market. Look, here's a question for you guys. If we sold the likes of McTominay, Maguire, Dean Henderson, Elanga, Martial, do we actually need to replace most of those players? I don't think we do. We have a very bloated squad, but a lot of these guys are not good enough to play, so we may as well not have them, in my opinion, if Erik Ten Hag will not pick them. So I think we could sell players without having to replace. If we sold Maguire, Henderson, Elanga, Martial, Van de Beek, for instance, right? Let's put Fred and McTominay in there as well. If we sold all those players, so it's 5 or 6 players, and we brought in, obviously Onana's coming, so let's forget him for a second, but Hojlund, Amrabat, Taremi, for those, if we got rid of 6 players and brought in 3 really good players, that's going to make us a better team, because that's 3 players we can use, instead of 3 players who, when they're on, they're going to make us worse, in my opinion. That's just my thoughts. So I'm agreeing with what Rajat is saying there as well. To cut a long story short, let me see as well. Thinking we might have new owners next season and cash injections into the club next season. Might be the window we bring the big guns in, Keane or Osimhen on a free. It's a good point. I don't think it's outside of the realms of possibility if it's Qatar, for instance, that they might go in January and try to bring some players in. We've seen Newcastle do this. Newcastle couldn't get the Saudi takeover done by the end of the summer. It took until mid-September, but it did happen, and they were able to go out in January, and they brought in some players who absolutely changed that season. They kept themselves from being relegated. They brought in Bruno Guimaraes, they brought in Joe Willock. that made a massive difference to Newcastle. Maybe we can do something similar. I don't know. It's an interesting thought, guys. Soundy is saying Hojlund could bring Haaland vibes, great potential for him. Absolutely. I feel like for as good as Rasmus Hojlund is, we are buying potential as well because he is only going to get better, in my opinion. So I think he could go on and really become a big player for Manchester United. Let me see as well. Lucky is saying press trigger on these players. Oh, on McTominay tell us by and Terry is saying, anyone heard anything about Fred being sold? Yes, do you have a small update on that as well? So this is coming in from a couple of different sources. So Fred could be one step from leaving Manchester United, according to Brazilian sources. I don't know. I didn't lead with it, obviously, because I haven't really heard of the source, but I'll put it down there for you guys as well, if you guys want to check that out. Let me see who we got down here. Mustafa as well. Hojlund is very good in the build-up. I think it would be a positive relationship between him and the wingers from the clips I've seen, and he doesn't mind assisting. Yeah, that's a good point. And something I like about Hojlund as well, he runs in behind, he runs those channels every bit as much as he drops deep as well. So I feel like that's going to help him overall. Rajat saying Hojlund is Ten Hag's agency. Yes, that's a good point. Stinkin saying Newcastle brought in Bruno in the transfer window. That's what we have to be looking for. Emperor Jerome as well. Good to see a man saying we should be buying Joao Felix. He has like United vibe about him. And Terry says, I like that 3 upgrade players and the 6 going out. Yeah, look, not to blow my own horn or anything, but I think it's a good point. And look, if we sell 10 players and bring in 5 good players, that's going to be better than having 10 players who aren't good enough. Because United, look, we have a starting 11. If we have 5 to 6 good players on the bench, that means that all of a sudden we have 17 or 18 players we can use without seeing a drop in performance levels, which is so crucial. Because last season, Erik Ten Hag clearly could not trust some of these players, so he didn't pick them. And that led to squad burnout. That led to Manchester United not having the legs towards the end of the season, and that cost us in a lot of matches. So that's going to be key. I feel like if we can build up a, a proper squad, that's going to be so important. It's about floor racing standings. I've been saying this for a while. It's if we can make the level of the worst player in this squad better, then your whole squad has got better. That's every bit as important as going for those big ceiling raising ones that are going to help you win league titles. It's bringing up a squad as well, so crucial in the modern game. Let me see. Lucky is saying a couple of these guys will not be playing next season. Absolutely not. Soundy is saying, do you think we could have gone for Barella instead of Mount? Look, I feel like we could have, but I feel like Erik Ten Hag clearly wanted Mason Mount. That clearly was his #1 objective. So whether we go for Barella, I don't know. Look, I feel like he would be a really good player for United, but if Erik Ten Hag thinks Mason Mount is the guy, if he thinks that has to be the first choice signing, I'm going to go with Erik Ten Hag's judgment. Mr. Phil says, I don't know what's happening on Onana. We don't have a goalie of quality. This should have been urgent. Absolutely. Rajat says, don't need the Barella. He suits the Italy way of playing. Yeah, I kind of get that vibe. I think it'll be interesting as well to see how Sandro Tonali does at Newcastle United. That's going to be an interesting one. Stinkin says, we need players over 6 feet. Man, we only scored 5 goals from set pieces. Yeah, look, that's a brilliant point. Mason Mount does have good set piece delivery. He needs targets. He needs somebody to hit in there. So obviously when the likes of Casemiro, Rashford and the likes are in there, it's going to be a lot easier than aiming for Amad Diallo and Jadon Sancho through the middle. But yeah, I feel like Hojlund will bring that. Obviously 6'4". He's a big guy. He's maybe not as good with his head as what he should be, but that can definitely be coached into him as well. Terry saying, I think it's like we're signing you up. That's it. We're signing you up to run sales and buying players. Honestly, guys, would absolutely love to see it as well. I'll be on here at night as well, just asking you guys, all right, who should go sell? Who should go buy? I feel like there is genuinely people in this chat who would do a better job than the actual club itself. Let me see who's down here, guys. McTominay given the green light for a new club. Haven't really seen that there one, Lucky. I will have a check for it as always, man. And Ronnie as well. Any good news of players? Very bad head after too much drink last night. Honestly, man, I know how you feel. In terms of players coming in, this Onana deal, it's slowly but surely inching its way across the line. Hojlund kind of getting there. Look, the most interesting thing today for Manchester United, outside of beating Leeds, which is always welcome, was probably the Mehdi Taremi agent putting up a photo of the Manchester United badge. Now, he put it up, he tagged it as being in Manchester, but he wasn't in Old Trafford. So what's going on there? I don't know. USA, good to see you, man. Thanks. Strange what's happening with the seal of this club. I think it influences everything. Absolutely, it does. And it definitely influences everything. And it's a lot of what is going on with United in this transfer window, as much as it is financial fair play, it's also down to the Glazers, in my opinion. Sandy is saying, who do you prefer, Hojlund deal or Felix loan? Yeah, man, I'm checking Hojlund every day of the week. He's exactly what we need. Most importantly, you know, there would be questions about, yeah, Felix, where does he fit in? There's no doubt in my mind where we would see Rasmus Hojlund fit in. He would fit in that centre forward position. He would be the number 9, the striker for this team in the long term, for a very, very long time. So that's what would be most important. But look, guys, I've had a long-running theory, a long-running conspiracy. We might call this a conspiracy theory idea, a tinfoil hat idea. But I feel like as much as financial fair play is limiting Manchester United, I feel like the Glazers are also doing every bit as much to really screw this club on the way out. I feel like they're not willing to spend this money because they feel like if they can keep the cash within United, they will get more money whenever the sale finally goes through. I feel like genuinely that's going to be some sort of a factor on it. USA is saying as well, would the club be sold? Not yet, man, unfortunately, but I hope it will be. Rajat, not a big fan of the Team Viewer logo. No, man, and it's annoying because that home top is lovely, but they've seemed to have made Team Viewer a lot bigger. I mean, look, this is a fake top, obviously, but it is kind of like small across here. I'm sure you guys can see it. Hold on, like it is smaller there. Obviously, in the home one, it's like wet in there. It's annoying for me. I don't know if I like it too much. And Shade is saying as well, I'll take time with Onana but on Hojlund. Hopefully we'll get there soon. Yeah, absolutely, man. I hope so. Sinkin, good to see you, man. Thank you very much for joining in. I will see you tomorrow as well. Ronnie is saying, if we get the striker we're after and the goalkeeper, I'll be happy for the season. Yeah, look, I would be happy with that as well. I feel like that makes a big difference. We would like to see more, but fundamentally it's going to be about getting that striker. It's going to be about getting that goalkeeper, because we can't go into the season with Jadon Sancho at false 9. We can't go into the season with Tom Heaton as our number 1 goalkeeper. So both those things need to change, in my opinion. So absolutely we need to be doing that. And Lucky is saying, never going to buy anything with these clueless people. Thank you very much for that one, Lucky. Look, I do agree, man. I feel like there's been a lot of people running this club for a long time and it hasn't been good enough across the board. It's frustrating, but it is what it is. They will be gone soon, hopefully. Saudi is saying as well, if we get the cash injection, which 3 players would you go for in the transfer window? Oh man, you have just asked the question of the night, my friend. That is a good one. That is a good one. So let me think about this. Let's say it's not going to happen in this transfer window, and let's say we buy Hojlund, we buy Onana. So that gives us Mount, Onana, Hojlund as our signings. Okay, so let's work from there. I feel like a big value signing, if I could bring anybody in, I might go for Jeremy Frimpong at right back. Feel like he's going to add a lot to this team going forward, and probably is an upgrade on Wan-Bissaka and Delo. Feel like that might be an interesting one. Let's see, what else would we go for? I feel like Manchester United still need another striker as well outside of Hojlund, so let's get Harry Kane. And it's a good question now, man. Let's get the centre back position shared up for the next 10 years. Let's go for Antonio Silva from Benfica. That's my 3 picks, guys. But let me know your thoughts down there as well, guys. Here we got Darren is saying, what's the deal with Onana? What's your name, lol? I sing gone quiet in the last few days. My name is, well, okay, all right, Dan. So my name is Stefan. We're usually on here every night. I was on earlier yesterday, so maybe missed the stream. In terms of the Onana deal, so we have a couple of updates. So this is something going on for a long time. Meant to be done last week, meant to be done on Friday, I believe, but it didn't happen. Someone somewhere took a weekend off. We were told on Friday this deal is all but done. Hasn't been done yet, unfortunately. But what we can say is Manchester United are getting very close. And that's kind of where we are with it. So in terms of actual updates, so in terms of what the reporters are saying, in terms of what the press have been saying on this one, let me just load this up so I can get a word for word. So coming in from Italian sources, Andre Onana will join Manchester United in the next few days for 55 million euros plus bonuses. And as well, coming in from Alfredo Padilla is an acceleration for Onana will be coming in the next couple of hours. So let's see what happens on that one. Maybe it was a case of getting this deal done before any kind of acceleration happens. I don't know. Maybe. Who have we got as well? Eunice, bro, can you call Rio and ask where we are in relation to the takeover? Yeah, man, I'll just call up Rio Ferdinand here. If I had his phone number, I would, because I remember Rio Ferdinand like 2 weeks ago saying, "Oh, big update coming in the morning. You guys are not going to believe it." I can't say what it is, but when it happens, you'll know what's going to happen. Rajat says, "Who? What? Who?" And how about Amrabat news? Oh, let's talk Amrabat then. So in terms of Amrabat, not too much in the last couple of days. Now, this was something Erik Ten Hag wanted yesterday. So it came out from Sky Sports. The Kinetic would look at Amrabat after signing Hojlund and signing Onana, getting the striker in the goalkeeping position. That's what he's going to be looking at. Oh, Rajat says, look at the Glazers comment. Let me see. And Glazers, and read my Glazers out comment. Oh, not a big fan of team viewer logo. Means Glazers out. Oh, I don't care if they send Mbappe, Neymar, and Messi. Glazers out. Absolutely, man. Thank you for that. Terry says, here we go in the next few days. Hopefully, yeah, I'm hoping so. Maybe tomorrow could be a nice day for it. Nice Thursday one going into the weekend. Was there anything else we wanted to go through? No, I actually think we're good. I think we've pretty much got through the news. Yeah, guys, so I'm going to leave the stream here. Thank you very much for joining in with me. I will be live same time tomorrow if you guys want to check it out. So thanks very much for joining in. As always, guys, support is very much appreciated. I'm going to go, and I'm also going to have an early night, guys. I'm so tired as well. But, guys, I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you very much for joining in. Appreciate you guys so much. So thank you very much, and I will see you guys in the next one.